I was in elementary school, an idea started, filled with nothing but imagination, bridges, my imaginary friend Kaylin, and a whole universe of wonderment. The way I will tell this story, let's go by grades for now. In first grade, after moving to my school district, so-called my world was in its past era. In second grade, I started to develop the interest of writing a packet of stories by hand in second grade language. In third grade, I discovered the concept of summer school while expanding my knowledge. In fourth grade, it was kind of the same concept, focusing all my energy on video games perhaps as well. I always got overly excited when it came to the games I always played. In fifth grade though, I remember the times with Scooby-Doo, which were some funny moments there, ending elementary school to sixth grade, middle school. So in sixth grade, I made new friends, along with meeting the same ones, having no awareness of the real world whatsoever. In seventh grade though, life was a huge game of war imagination-wise. I enjoyed battling against many entities and concepts in my world, including when those tanks were trying to invade. Keep in mind that the origin of KDS lies here, the Kaylin digital system, originating from the imaginative universe I always pretended in. In 8th grade though, everything changed. I realized and knew something. My world, the imagination of mine, was all in my head. 8th grade was when I knew something that I had no idea of all this time. It was me discovering how I was someone with autism, with the exception that I had it since I was 2 to 3 years old in my lifetime. Not only that, but I also started to become aware of something else as well. I had no idea what I was doing all along. 1st to 8th grade, and then beyond, was the time I was going to have a good life. But with that being set aside, 9th grade rolls around, and things got a little bit tough, but were still good. And keep in mind, the good time I mentioned from 1st to 8th grade, that was a little mishap that I did on my part. Keep in mind that, I don't know to be honest, but anyways, yeah, I did make a script for this, and I will be honest, it's not easy doing this in one take, but just bear with me. So anyways, the end of 9th grade rolls around, or comes, and the most tragic thing happens in my entire life, and you would not believe what it is. The death of my father. It was a sudden one too, before you know it, but it only began there for the dark ages of my life. And then 10th grade comes into play, and guess what? It was becoming so tough so fast. I eventually almost became the next victim of a deadly concept known as the silent killer. It is known as the deadliest concept I've ever come across in my entire life. If you're wondering what the silent killer is, it was where I had the thoughts that became concerning, where I wanted to end my life. I made the most concerning posts on social media, got in trouble many times, and this was the year I started to be put on meds too after my dad's passing, especially for growing up physically, mentally, and emotionally. But then 11th grade is interesting. It wasn't as bad though. It was also the time where music and writing interests really started to come into play. And I remember this one day, I was watching this show on TV. If it weren't for this one episode of a TV show I was watching, the one about how they were writing a book, my writing hobbies might have not come to be. But this is where it gets interesting. the senior year of high school, when 12th grade came, senior project happened, a year-long project on any topic of my choice. I did mine on changing my lifestyle while living with autism. I even got an A on the entire project too. Challenges were rising and present to me still as I was finishing high school. Even though that A+ was there, and I've written 100 entries, each one 250 to 750 words long, it was still a struggle while living with autism. But then when I finished high school, things started to get better, sort of. After a year in the transitions program at a university campus, me and my friends moved to a different town, or my family I meant to say, where for the next few years, I ended up creating music, writing, and other types of creations like never before. So basically, come the year 2019, what happened was that I managed to create 50 plus songs. So basically, 50 songs later, before the present time, it was a first. In a Wednesday, on January 2019, the silent killer was coming back and trying to make me the next victim once again. But guess what? I'm still here. I didn't let it take me from this realm into a tragic death. Instead, I knew that I was scared about this concept. After many changes to my meds, things slowly improved fast. The services I needed for the future didn't really apply for my autism disorder anymore as much. It was now overall for mental health. So basically, why would I tell you this story of basically my entire life in a nutshell? You're probably wondering like, what are you blabbering on about your entire life and all that? Because it is to show you what I've gone through to become what I am today and beyond. All of the times I cried, got angry, felt like my life was over, stressed, and everything bad or worse has led me up to what made me today. From the times that were good to the times that were bad, one question can be answered today. Who is he, this individual, this guy right here? To answer that, I am Kalen, an individual with autism, striving for success, and also the owner of KDS, an idea of autism. Currently, I have 2 albums out there, a 3rd album in the works, and possible books that will be released for the public to see. I also have not 1, but 2 blogs, a bright mind, and am known as someone that would never give up on my dreams. Oh yeah, there was one more thing I forgot to mention about that. I also managed to write 20,000 plus words in a single concept, over 5 times too. But what about the future? Let's discover what the next steps could be. In about a year, I possibly would have released a 3rd album, started to DJ events, released more books, and hopefully figured out finally that the want for a girlfriend was not the most important thing in the world. A couple years from now, and I'll hopefully have developed good habits to keep for life, and became someone who is on the way to becoming famous. In several years, I probably will be the next big thing, maybe the next rising famous figure, and throughout the rest of my life, I would have hopefully made history for the world while having autism. And there you have it, the story of one. Now you know my story. One thing I will ask you for now, what's next?